Which audio interface should I buy? This is a question that gets asked on major audio-related message boards at least 10 times a week, and for good reason. It is the central hub of your audio productions. It can make or break your recordings. It can hinder you or open up new possibilities. Choosing the right audio interface is the second most important consideration behind choosing good speakers. Here's my advice. The number one consideration when choosing an audio interface is your budget. This will determine everything else. If you are on a super tight budget, I would suggest buying a used interface over a new one. But if you won the lottery, you may as well buy the best of the best. The second thing that you need to think about is what kind of computer do you have? Compatibility with operating systems and hardware is a big concern. The best audio interfaces right now use the Thunderbolt format, which is an offshoot of PCIe. USB 2.0 interfaces are the most common due to USB 2.0 being the most common computer input type, but unfortunately, it doesn't have low latency like PCIe or Thunderbolt does. Be on the lookout for future USB-C interfaces because basically it's Thunderbolt for Windows platforms. Most interfaces support Microsoft and Apple operating systems. Compatibility with iOS and Android devices is another feature to look out for if you need portable recording capability. Number 3, what are your needs? What will you be recording? If it's mostly acoustic instruments like guitar, drums, and vocals, then an interface without MIDI will be just perfectly fine. If you are into electronic music, which includes pop and rap, then an interface with MIDI capability is a must-have. How many inputs and outputs do you need? 8 to 12 is a good round number to record drums, but 16 can record most full bands at the same time. The more outputs that you have, the more individual mixes you can feed to musicians. Digital inputs and outputs are also a major consideration if you ever want to expand your interface in the future. SPDIF, ADAT, AES3, also known as AES/EBU, are the most common, along with a BNC word clock in and output. MADI is another digital format, but it's typically only found on very high-end interfaces. The more expensive interfaces support pretty much every format, if not all. So, with all of this in mind, one of the key things to remember is you can either buy an interface that has cheap components but has a lot of inputs and outputs, or you can buy a more expensive interface that has a small amount of inputs and outputs but has higher quality. The ones I'm thinking of in the latter category have 2 inputs and just a handful of outputs. Some of these types of interfaces include the UAD Apollo Twin, Audient ID14/ID22, or the Tascam UH7000. The interfaces in the high input and output count but cheap category include the Tascam US 16x08, Focusrite Scarlett 18i20, and Behringer Euphoria UMC 1820. Currently, I'm using an Audient ID14 interface which features 2 analog inputs, 4 analog outputs, a direct input aka instrument input, and ADAT optical digital input for 8 extra expansion channels. For MIDI, I'm using an M-Audio Fast Track Ultra, which was my old interface, but I might sell it soon and replace it with an iConnectivity Mio, which I heard was a very nice MIDI to USB cable. If you're looking for top-notch quality, Apogee interfaces are awesome. UAD and Audient are right behind it. Antelope Audio and Army are also very good brands. So any of those, I would have no problems recommending. Well, this video may or may not have answered your question, but I did give you some things to think about. I'll also link to some message boards where you can ask this question because interfaces change on a month-by-month basis, a year-by-year basis. So by the time you listen to this video, the ID14 might be 10 years old. Who knows? So I can just tell you for certain right now, I love my Audient interface. They didn't give it to me for free. I had to buy it myself, just like I do all my gear. And that was money well spent. I have no problems using it. I like that I can listen to sound better with the improved digital to analog converters. I'm not so sure about the analog to digital converters being better than the Fast Track Ultra at this point, but my work remains to be completed with recording and testing it out, which is why I haven't put out a review of it yet. If you guys are waiting on that, I still haven't recorded a full band mix and done a mix to compare it with the Fast Track Ultra, because I want to make sure that I'm not just saying things with a placebo effect. I want to make sure that there really was an improvement with the sound. I can tell you that the preamps and the converters have a very low noise floor, and that the DAC sounds quite nice, and everything about it is a great interface. It has stable drivers. I haven't had it crash on me. I'm using it right now. You're hearing it. I'm recording this voiceover, but I can't say for sure if the ID14 is right for you, because your budget is different from mine. Your needs are different from mine. So I hope this video did help, because the only way to choose the right interface really is to know what you need, know what you have, and really, if you can, which luckily a lot of websites and dealers allow this, you can try out different interfaces, see if you like it, and then return the ones that you don't. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.